Well, global demand for gold by consumers has risen by more than half in the second quarter, driven mainly by sales in China and India. Despite efforts by the Reserve Bank of India to choke off supplies, imports into the country in July were worth £1.9 billion compared to £1.6 billion in June. The scale of the imports is so high that authorities are worried about its impact on the trade deficit. In Pakistan, they've enforced a month-long ban on sales of gold, and in Sri Lanka, they've slapped on a 10% import duty. Of course, a recent decline in gold prices has made it more affordable, and that's as booming demand from consumers was offset by a slide in purchases by central banks around the world. Well, to talk about this some more is Marcus Grub from the World Gold Council has come in to talk to us. And you've got the nub of the issue, effectively, the fact that the price of gold has fallen. The growing middle class in places like India can afford things like this. Just lift them up there and show them to us there. Traditional Indian earrings for weddings and the like.
Absolutely. I mean, this is an example of a new jewellery line that the World Gold Council was involved in launching in India about a year ago, called Asvar. And this is obviously a set of high-carat gold earrings for Indian consumers. And this line has been extremely popular in India. And of course, as you said earlier in your report, we're seeing very high imports of gold into India currently.
Is this sustainable, though? I mean, does the growing Indian middle class, are they going to keep on buying more and more of this stuff, or we're going to reach a point where the demand will kind of plateau, won't it?
Well, I think the issue you have is this year's been quite a volatile one for gold, and the price has dropped, which has made gold even more attractive to consumers all over the world, in particular in India. India remains the largest market currently, although China is catching up rapidly. So I think the problem you have is not only do you have all the long-term cultural, religious and festival links to gold in India, it's a long-term love affair with gold that you have there. It's now compounded by the fact that the fall in price has made it even more attractive.
Are we buying less in the West?
No, interestingly, in Q2, you actually saw an increase in demand in some Western countries as well, again on the fall in price that we had. As you said, consumer demand overall was up about 53%. You had bars and coin demand increasing as well in the United States and in Europe. And then India and China put in very strong numbers for the second quarter.
So consumers are benefiting because central banks are buying less gold as a reserve. But I mean, are you worried about these kind of restrictions on sales that they're putting in place in some of your key growth markets?
Well, it is a challenge for the gold market, yes. I mean, it is the largest single market in the world, usually accounts for roughly 1,000 tonnes a year out of a 4,400 tonne market. But so far, if you look at the first half of this year, India is up nearly 45%. So these measures are not having the effect that the government intended. And looking for the full year, we think India may come in around 1,000 tonnes.
OK, Marcus Grub from the World Gold Council, thank you very much for joining us.